Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis recently engaged in a thrilling backflash of words prior to preparations for their upcoming bout. And this time, Gervonta Davis is back in his usual troublesome fashion, aiming to get the better of his opponent before they lock horns in the ring. The lightweight title fight scheduled to take place on Saturday, June 15th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, USA, prompted a heated argument as the preparations for the two boxers to step in the ring in June. The bout, which will be shown on Amazon Prime Video PPV, has attracted attention from fans and other boxing professionals who support the fights. The WBA lightweight world title champion, who had not fought for over a year since he last emerged victorious against Ryan Garcia in April 2023 after being forced to spend 2 months in prison, will be back in the ring to defend his title against Frank Martin. Frank Martin, who is ranked number 2 behind Davis, which implied he gets the first shot at the belt, aiming to take his impressive career record up to 19-0, expressed how disqualified his opponent was, even with the upcoming fight at hand. After he served his prison time, Davis was authorized to continue his boxing career and defend the crown he claimed after Haney vacated, before moving up in weight with the fight that he will be facing Martin in a few weeks to come. Davis, who previously held both the IBF and super featherweight titles on separate occasions, attracted the conversations over the internet from different professionals who were concerned with how his training methods were efficient in the upcoming fight. The boxer posted video footage which went viral in all social media platforms, prompting interviews and discussions on different occasions. The former 3-division world champion, who claimed 5 world titles and currently ranked as number 10 in ESPN's pound-for-pound rankings, shared the moves he implemented in the preparations for the fight, welcoming unexpected discussions. Frank Martin, currently 29 years of age with a record of 18-0 and 12 lifetime knockouts, engaged in a heated argument with Davis about their fight since he fought Artem Harutyunyan and defeated him via unanimous decision. Following with the records of the boxers, the two embarked on an argument, with each of them looking down at his opponent. Since Davis had been jailed for his repulsive actions, the scene looked awkward to Frank Martin, who is fully convinced that his opponent has had a series of black illiterate behaviors as they prepare to face each other in June. On the other hand, Davis traced back the fight between Frank Martin and Artem Harutyunyan, with the decision of the winner being faulty, and termed his victory as undeserved. Martin and Davis haven't had enough of each other since they agreed to get back in the ring and determine the boxer who deserves the victory. The much-anticipated fight has faced a lot of discussions accompanied with ridicules from both boxers. With each of them standing on the grounds that he's undefeated, the fans have had a lot of questions and responses over the ongoing battle over the internet.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Amazon, PBC, GTD Promotions, and the MGM. Everyone in the world.
One of the greats in boxing today, you've heard from Leonard Ellerby explaining why.
According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, who provided much details about the fight, the details highlighted the agreement as Gervonta Davis agreed to put his WBA lightweight boxing title belt on the line against Frank Martin after Davis's legal trouble sidelined him in the second half of last year, but now he's back versus a legitimate top 10 lightweight. Even after agreeing to fight, the commotions between the two boxers never ceased, and now everyone is preparing to tear down his opponent, both in the internet and later in the ring. Gervonta Davis and Adrien Broner were seen training alongside each other ahead of the bout between Tank Davis and Frank Martin. The training footage raised a lot of questions from Tank's professionals, among them being Frank Martin, who vividly spoke in a disgusting manner towards his opponent. In the footage, Davis and Broner were seen training alongside each other in the efforts of losing weight, as sometimes Davis puts on a lot of weight in between the fight, and considering the fact that he participated in a fight a while ago, training was an essential preparation towards getting ready to face Frank Martin.
I just want to take my hats off to everybody that came out to this press conference. Amazon Prime, MGM Grand, even David Benavidez.
The good pound-for-pound talent of Davis, which resulted in knocking out Ryan Garcia in a cold, prompted a hint of scare to Frank Martin, who raised a lot of concern about the footage. Since the two were spotted together training in a recent video, it sparked excitement among boxing fans who saw it as an opportunity for Davis to improve on his methods as he trained with the four-weight champion, who was chasing redemption for his title once more. The duo's collaboration raised eyebrows in some regards, seeing how light Davis was. In the training video, Davis appeared focused and sharp according to how the fans saw him, and the fact that he already made weight, demonstrating his commitment to peak performance ahead of his fight with Frank Martin. Boxing professionals revealed that after he had made weight, Davis was supposed to go on and concentrate on tactics mostly for Frank Martin. On the other hand, Broner was training to return to the ring on June 7th against Blair Cobbs, seemed reinvigorated after a series of setbacks and personal struggles over the years. Training alongside Davis was supposed to benefit him, and it was clear that Broner embraced a disciplined approach. In the video, the two were seen to have had an appropriate sparring partnership drafted in, and most likely, Davis had pushed Broner to dig down deep in the preparations. As it was anticipated, Davis's team and handlers would not have left Broner around Davis's training camp if he was going off the rails, but as it was expected, Broner would have a good showing. As for them training alongside one another, Davis's explosiveness and precision compelled Broner's slickness and ring IQ.
On stage, man. My initial takeaway is that we're never going to forget this fight week, for better or worse. Lots of chaos. I think chaos is the word of the week. Ryan, look, I was told it was a fake beer that he was drinking.
The collaboration between the two, which sparked a lot of discussion, was most certainly to prove beneficial for both as they prepared for their respective challenges coming up next shortly. Davis's fight marks the beginning of a new era for boxing on Amazon Prime, and his performance would set the tone for the platform's foray into the sport. Broner, on the other hand, seeks to re-establish himself as a top contender and silence his doubters as he always does, and having a person to train alongside proved a high possibility of him attaining victory in his forthcoming fight. Despite their different paths, Davis and Broner shared a common goal: victory, and therefore, being on the same PBC boxing teams, they knew each other over several years, even before they began training alongside each other. According to fans and other professionals, the teaming up of such talented professional fighters was a great idea, even with the ridicules from other boxers like Frank Martin. The joint training sessions reflected their mutual respect and their desire to push each other to their limits, even though it was with challenges from other boxers. Following a recent upload of a short video snippet from Martin's camp on their YouTube shorts, a super fit, athletic, and pumped Martin was seen undertaking a strenuous workout as he prepared to face Davis. The high-intensity exercise, which included him running against the extended resistance of a band, possibly employed to increase his endurance, was seen to be extensive as compared to Davis. Martin's training video underscored his commitment to excelling in the championship match. While Tank is known for his swift jabs and precision footwork, Martin too was expected to bring his powerful, calculated punches to the ring in the coming match. In a recent interview with Devin Haney, he expressed his doubts on Frank's ability to upset Tank Davis in the concerning fight despite the claims from Frank on knocking Davis. Haney revealed that he expected Tank Davis to give Frank Martin a tough fight when they met in the ring in June. In an interview, Haney said, "I think Tank beats him. We haven't seen Frank Martin at the highest level, at the elite level. We just haven't seen." Martin had a massive problem in his last fight against fringe contender Artem Harutyunyan last July, as he squeaked out a 12-round decision victory in a contest that he had been losing through the first 8 rounds. From that performance, it was clear that Martin wasn't ready for elite-level competition. In another statement, Haney said, "Do I think Martin is going to go in there and lay down? No, I think he'll go in there and try to get his respect and he will fight back. But I think Tank has the experience and skills and will be victorious." From the previous fights that Martin had participated in, it was clear that he was over-muscled and emphasized too much on weight training in most of his fight preparations. His overreaction to the skills that Tank Davis used his training in the footage was an awakening call for Martin, as he seemed to have been implying the wrong methods for the preparation. It was clear that chances of him winning were very minimal, having in mind the fight would happen in only a few weeks to come. Haney explained that, "But will it be easy? I can't say. Do I think that Frank Martin will go in there and show that he's a contender? The answer is yes."
Is taking in performance enhancement drugs. It's just it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the guys in the ring.
Despite the two boxers trading insults on the internet, Eddie Hearn expressed his thoughts about Davis, saying that he felt Davis had made a smart choice by selecting an opponent against whom victory was guaranteed. On a note, Eddie Hearn said, "I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's an easy fight for Tank Davis." Eddie Hearn added, "I don't think he's going to do mad numbers, but yeah, it's a good fight." In another interview, Calvin Ford expressed his concerns about Broner training with Tank Davis instead of training in Adrien Broner's training camp, saying, "My thoughts is that he's doing what we need him to do, and I'm seeing the transition. I'm seeing a glimpse of what I used to watch when he was on TV and stuff." According to the trainer, he seemed to go against the views of other boxers even though everyone had given up on the problem. But to him, the fact remained that he never went anywhere. Ford added that, "But he's still here, so he has a mission that he has not completed yet. So the opportunity that he was given, he gets to show the world that he never left." Ford explained more about the collaboration between the two, saying that he could see Tank paying back for all the favors and help he received from Broner. In many ways, he stressed that their roles had changed since how they used to be earlier. Calvin said that working with Adrien Broner was meant to be, as he knew Broner for a long time.
This is how you use the guys when they come into camp.
Frank Martin says, I know he's just talking the fight, but he said if Tank acts up, he might get the knockout.
And he had the trainer's #1 protege. He said, "The roles changed. It's like Tank the big brother, Broner the little brother. But they are both even because, again, that's showing the respect of the levels before and then after. It's a good thing." Ford reflected on a recent memory of Davis coaching one of his friends in the gym against Broner, which explained the unity between the two boxers as they are now training in the same camp. Ford explained that, "If everybody knew the story of how we came together, they wouldn't get it as it was meant to be this way." According to Ford, he saw this as a bond and close, family-like atmosphere, having an influence on Broner, who he believed would show shades on the coming fight in July. He added, "It was fun and exciting. Look at him smiling, so I know he is in a good space." In a post that Adrien Broner added in his Instagram account, he thanked Gervonta Davis for helping him get back to training. Broner recounted experiencing binge drinking while enduring a rough period, but out of the blue, he received a call from Tank with the lightweight champion inviting him to join the training camp. Ever since then, Broner hasn't looked back, and he expressed heartfelt gratitude to the Baltimorean. Adrien Broner said, "I got a call from my baby bro at the rate Gervonta, and he told me to come do camp with him, and I've been on track ever since, and he's been pushing me every day. So, with that being said, I just want to thank you, Tank. Let's get what great people deserve out of this boxing stuff and laugh together on an island at the end."
It's bigger than boxing.
Obviously you're going to have your performance. Is there anything that you can hint?
These words didn't sit well on Frank Martin, who had not trained alongside no one, and after seeing the video, he went wild about the collaboration. Initially, when Martin was naked about how he saw the collaboration between the two professionals boxers, he said that it was great work on both sides. Later on, he added that Tank had great power, but he wasn't the hardest person that he ever was hit by before. The grudge between the two, which had been existing for quite a while, seemed to have been sparked up again, being that the two never had a common language in the boxing arena. Frank Martin seemed to be uncomfortable with the collaboration between the two boxers from the video footage training together. He spoke about his gym mate Garcia picking against in his title challenge of WBA regular lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, relating both incidents and referring to it as disloyalty. Martin noted initially that Ryan had on his side said he would win, but after he went on the other side, he began talking about betting $1 million that Tank would win. To Frank Martin, this looked bad as they shared the same trainer, Derek James, with Ryan. Therefore, Ryan understood all the tactics that were applicable for the fight. He added that it would have been better if Ryan stayed neutral on the Tank versus Martin bout. Frank became the underdog against Tank Davis.
Like I say bet with me, win with me. You know, like that shit is one of them things. Like I embrace it. You know, I'm eating off of it. You know, it's fueling me. So it is what it is. You know, it ain't gonna change. So, you know, I just gotta go out there
And since then, no one gave him an assurance of winning. Martin went ahead to explain that he was cool, but I don't care what he says. I wouldn't get on and talk down. He went from Frank is going to win to Davis is going to win. I bet $1 million against him. He added that stuff is fake to me. I don't care about people like that. I don't care if it's promoting or building. That stuff is fake. I'm not with all that. I'm with the type of person I rock who I rock with, and that's why my circle is as strong as it is.
I'm eating off of it. You know, it's fueling me. So it is what it is. You know, it ain't gonna change. So, you know, I just gotta go out there and do the unexpected.
I know you don't look past Tank, but you go in there and...
If Ryan's motives were to stay in Tank Davis's good graces to get a massive payday, it was understandable why he would be suddenly picking against Martin in their upcoming fight. From the boxing fans' side, it was considerable that the money Ryan would make from fighting Tank in a rematch was enormous, and it would be important if he got the payday before he was out of his career.
It's the natural energy, you know. You got two like dominant like guys, you know what I mean? Like you got one who ain't.
Martin added to his claim saying, "It's fake. Even when I am saying that, I still ain't going to down talk him or bash his name. Let me lose his money." Martin wrote in a comment saying, that information wasn't geared directly towards him, but he was a part of that. But it was bigger than that. It's a lot. There ain't not friends in this stuff was a message directed to Ryan Garcia. This boxing stuff, they ain't your friends, and I get that people change up. Martin seemed to back up the idea that where money was involved, especially in the kind of dough that Ryan could get in case he fought Tank Davis again, he was not supposed to be surprised that Ryan was picking against him. It wouldn't make sense for Ryan to be backing Martin and risk getting Tank's bad side even with the issue of Adrien Broner and Tank Davis. Martin, in his view about the footage of Adrien and Davis, said that it started before all this. It started with the Artem fight and then came to the fight that was supposed to happen with Shakur, and now to this fight. Martin concluded, it's a lot of different sides, a lot of different conversations, and a lot of different things. The footage which showed the collaboration revealed the reason behind Ryan supporting Tank, as he was revealed how ready he had prepared to knock out Frank Martin in the upcoming fight. The traded insults have since then taken over the internet, with supporters going against the words of Frank Martin, who claims that even with the support that Tank Davis has, Martin trusted that he would knock out Tank Davis.
Being strong, being quick, being instinctive. Now, like, I got it all. You know, it's a mix of everything. You know, like.
He's not that. He's not that.
All right.
He's not.
You ain't been in
I'ma
no
show
nobody
y'all.
like this. You ain't been in no nobody like this. Nobody.
I'm gonna show y'all.
Nobody.
I'm telling you.
Nobody.
I'm telling you.
Let me ask you a few questions about the fight.
In his training videos, Frank Martin showed how ready he had prepared for the upcoming fight, even considering the fact that he had sometimes missed out in strengthening his weaknesses in the ring. With the support from boxing professionals, the collaboration between Tank Davis and Broner was supposed to be fruitful, and Broner would show great improvement in the ring as he expected to be in the ring in July. In recent news, Gervonta Davis found himself embroiled in a rehydration clause debate with the rumors of the American boxer fighting against Frank Martin under the WBA's rehydration clause in June. On similar lines as the IBF, the WBA decided to put a 12-pound rehydration limit on the championship fights, and since then, Tank has been criticized for taking cover behind a rehydration clause to gain an advantage over his opponents. He also was accused of infamously drawing flack for forcing a rehydration clause against Ryan Garcia. However, Davis has tried to clean the air around the rehydration clause fiasco. The 29-year-old clarified that he wasn't aware of the new clause until it became the talk of the internet. In addition to that, he questioned how both fighters coming into the fight at the same weight was a problem. Davis said, "I didn't know about this stuff until yesterday on Twitter, but why is everybody mad? We have to weigh the same weight and come into the fight at the same weight. What is the problem with that?" Previously, the Baltimore native had vented out his frustration as he shunned the accusations of influencing and swaying the sanctioning body to put such a clause in place. He questioned, "Why are you all telling me I have enough power to tell the WBA what to do?" Moreover, there have been questions about whether Davis versus Martin would indeed be fought under the new rule. Dan Rafael turned to his X handle and clarified that Davis versus Martin would not feature the WBA's newly introduced clause.
Years come, they'll write books about it, they'll write in-depth magazine pieces about it. I mean, it's on that level, and not only just because of the greatness of the fight itself, but you mesh that with the historical magnitude of what it was.
However, being that the sanctioning body might enforce the fight day morning weight checks in future fights, it is not yet decided to put it on hold for Davis versus Martin, as the fight was already in the works. In a note, Rafael wrote, "No, there is no rehydration clause for #Davis Martin. WBA is planning to follow IBF by requiring a morning weight check." While there's still some tussle over the WBA's rehydration clause, Leonard Ellerbe believes it would put weight bullies in check.
It's like the guy, his first time here, he probably didn't know what to expect. And the other guy, obviously, he's been around for a little while.
You heard Tank saying that this is my house.
Yeah,
my house right
so I'm sure that,
According to Leonard, the likes of Devin Haney and David Benavidez had been blasted in the past for bulking up enormously just before the fight and utilizing a size advantage against their opponents. It remains to be seen when the WBA will enforce this clause. That's all for now. Until next time.